The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got it.
Jackson.
Come on out here. Come get some.
Flush to his right.
Come on here. Come get some.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Meanwhile, here a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Got it. 54. Mike 54. Hey, 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 hey.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53.
Jackson from the shotgun. Dancing to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. That touchdown certainly a welcome sight. Remember, they were shut out last week. They talked to us about getting early momentum. Well, here you go in the opening quarter.
Got to rebuild confidence, because when you get shut out, I don't care how strong you are mentally, you've got to take a step back and say, okay, what just happened here? Because nothing that we were doing worked well enough to get into the end zone, and that's a nice confidence-building drive, one that puts it in the end zone to give them an opportunity.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Check 99. Check 99.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Check 26. Check 26.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Wild Bill. Wild Bill. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Ringo. Go on. Come on, D.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You got it, son. Over 154 Lions. SOS. Check it out.
Throwing, Prescott. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Catch made here by Campbell. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond, as you just noted.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. From 10 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Point after here coming up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 35-yard line.
These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Third down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Check. Check. 53 to Mike. 53. Stay with it.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 45-yard line.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
It's just me and you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Check pass.
From the gun on third down, Jackson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Dolphins on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. They come out here in the I. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. Try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Let's get it. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get
He's checking.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
3 down. Switch. Hatchet. Switch gears.
Credit him with a 1-yard.
Here we go. Come on, D. Watch right. You.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Now he'll let it go deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. To the air again, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Colts have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
There we go. Nice move.
And on that one, with has 6 defensive backs. Did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Extra point safely through, and it's now 21-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play call.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point good by Hopkins, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
Dolphins 14.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Looking for Camp. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point up and through. And the lead now up to 14.
28. Dolphins 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Dolphins take over
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On second down, it's Mack. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Shift. 154, 188. Deuce.
49, check 49, check 49.
Say.
On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Rush in. Check. Crunch. Out.
They'll run for it. It's Mack. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Watch the run. Go. It's run.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And 5 at the Colts' 39-yard line.
Here we go. Go to base. We got right coming. Bill, watch out. Hey, come on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Key to tackle. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
From the gun, Jackson looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
It's just me and you. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You mine.
53's the mic. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, defense.
From the gun, Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 25 yards that time. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Flush to his right. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now on 2nd and 13, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. Prescott on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the fourth. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
53, check 53. Check right, check.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Buying time to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go right back to Mack. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Man out, man out, man out.
Here we go, 47.
Now Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. The point after is good. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 14. Jackson now, operating from the gun. Looking downfield for Kelsey. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 18.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Coming to you, coming to you. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Get off the train track.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Let's go, D. Let's go. 53's mic. Check 53.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. They'll go again here with Mack. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll run here with Mack, and they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. A spin, shrugs him off. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They want to try and put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares?
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Hopkins with the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead.
38. Dolphins 28.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty